Hello and welcome to In the Studio with Donny Carr. This is episode number 33. Today I wanted to talk about white noise, and I want to show you a handful of techniques that can be applied using white noise. So I'm going to be showing you how to layer some white noise underneath a hi-hat to give it some extra power, some more high frequency content that'll help it cut through the mix a little bit better. I'm going to be showing you how to do two types of white noise sweeps or transition effects. And I also want to show you a very cool little technique that's how to pseudo tune white noise to give it a tone and use it as an atmospheric bed for your track. So let's get right to the first technique, which is layering some noise underneath the hat. Here's the hi-hat that we'll be working with. Okay, and we'll just be using 3x oscillator for this. There. And then to use the white noise on this, or to select the white noise, it's just this dice icon, and I actually have the other two oscillators turned off, so it's just the one oscillator. That's all you need. Okay, so we have our white noise oscillator here. So what we're going to do is just layer a simple pattern that mimics the hi-hat. So let's send this to the piano roll. And let's do a basic eighth note pattern. Oh boy. All right. Okay. And okay. Simple pattern there. Let's see how that sounds layered underneath or on top of the hi-hat. Sounds like shit. So what we need to do here is we don't want all those frequencies in there. This is a hi-hat. It doesn't need all those low frequencies. So I'm gonna low cut it, and I'm also gonna take some of the top off because the top frequencies tend to be very harsh, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna cut it around 12K or so. All right. This definitely sounds much better, much more tolerable, but it can be better yet. So we're going to go into the envelope on 3x oscillator, and I'm going to go ahead and enable that. I'm going to pull back the attack, I'm going to pull back the hold, sustain, and the release a little bit, and then we'll kind of adjust the decay to taste. So we'll start at naught and move it up till it sounds good. There we go. Nice. Let's do a little A-B comparison with and without the 3x oscillator, or the noise rather. With, without, with. Definitely gives it some more energy, but it can be a little bit better yet still. Because this hat has a very sharp transient, I want to make sure that transient has room to come through. And I don't want to cover it up with the white noise, so I'm actually going to push back this attack a little bit to let that transient come through on the hat. There we go. And just a quick little side tip here. If you're, adjusting some parameters, you just want a little bit more of a fine-tuned micro control, some, smaller movements. As you're adjusting the parameter, hold control, and you get a much more slow micro shift here, where you can really fine-tune those parameters. So just a little side tip. Let's move on to the next technique, and that's how to do a white noise riser. We'll be using 3x oscillator again. I'm going to go ahead and extend this clip out and solo it. So what we need is it's just a simple sustained note. Let's pull it out. Let's do 2 bars. Okay, and we need to do a little bit of adjustment on our filter. I'm going to reset this. Now you can use you can use a low pass, you can use a high pass depending on what kind of sweep you're doing. I prefer just to use a band pass. There we go. Oops. Okay. Just because, I mean, when I'm making effects and risers and sweeps and things like that, 99.9% of the time, I don't want the low energy in there for the most part, you know, and I don't want the highs in there, the super highs. So I just think a bandpass works best for my style of production. So all we're going to do here is we're just going to automate the frequency here. So let's create an automation clip. And let's pull that clip down. Okay. Now, simple. Just if you want a riser, just do a sweep up. Oops. You know what we need to do? We need to take off our envelope on a 3x oscillator. Let's take that off. There we go. So we can do a sweep down. Sweep down, and then you can make it a little bit more interesting by adding, say, some effects, maybe a chorus flanger or a phaser, maybe even some reverb or distortion if you wanted to. I'll do some reverb here. I'm going to pull that out. Okay. Yeah, it just gives a little bit more width there. So that's the first method to do a white noise riser. And the second one is going to be using a white noise sample and then using the slide function in the piano roll to accomplish this. So what I did first, I'll back up here, is I just recorded a white noise sample using 3x oscillator and Edison. So all I did, let's just get rid of this, is I just had this, I picked out a frequency band, maybe something like that, and then I recorded that into Edison. I'm not going to do it again, but just to show you what I did, and I came up with just this sound here. Okay, but you do need to EQ one frequency band out of the white noise to really make this work. So once you have your white noise sample, go ahead and send it into the piano roll, which I have already done. So I'll show you here. Send it into the piano roll. Oh, just gonna solo this. All right. I'll show you exactly how to accomplish that here. So let's just redo it here. So what we need to do is I want to make it slide from C5 down to C0. So let's make a slide note. Just select this little triangle up here in the top left corner, and we'll lay that down. And then we want it to slide up to C5. Excuse me, slide down. And the slide notes are indicated by the little triangle in the corner here. And so how this works is, say your slide note was only half this length. if you did it this way, then it's going to be just a constant white noise tone, and then once this starts, then it'll start to slide down. And you can obviously do the inverse of that and have it sweep up. So let's do that. Okay, that's enough of that. I think you get the point, or I hope you do, because I'm going to move on. All right, so that's that method. And then the last one here is how to pseudo-tune white noise to give it a tone, and then you can further manipulate it to, because there's lots of things you can do with it, but I'll show you one way. So what we want to do here is I just have this sample. Okay, let's give it a proper loop. So you can hear there's obviously no tone, it's just noise. So we need to make this have a tone. So say you're writing a track in A minor, and maybe you want to put like an atmosphere and tuck that down low just to have something going on, swirling around in your track. You can do that with white noise. So the parametric EQ2 has a cool little function, and it's this key function here. So let's say we're writing a track in A minor. Let's select A at 220. Let's do that. It's pulled up, and then just tighten that bandwidth. We'll do the same here. Go 440. Pull that up. Tighten the Q or bandwidth. Do the same thing here. Go A 100. Like so. Bada boom. Let's do one more. Key A and 1760. Pull that up. Tighten the bandwidth. Let's clean up the tops and the bottoms as well. Do a high pass, and we will do a low pass. Okay. Now, let's have a listen to this. With the EQ, just know it. So, now that it has that, it's in the key of A. We have pseudo-tuned it. To make this into an atmosphere, what you can do is run it through 100% reverb, or give it a bunch of reverb, and maybe add some flanger or chorus maybe. Duck that really down low in your track and sidechain it. Yeah, just something different that you can utilize white noise for. So that's the video for today. I hope that you learned some new techniques. I love to hear some ways that you use white noise. So let me know. Yeah, leave me a question, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you soon. Take care.